Hey, Vinyl Community, Jeff here, and I am jumping on a contest today. This is for Larry, the Canadian Studmuffin. He started this contest a couple weeks ago. I've seen some other entries, and I thought, yeah, I need to jump on this. This would be kind of fun. The concept here is to take two albums that, recorded by the same artist or band that around the same time that sound close enough together to where they could be combined into one really good double album. So looking through my collection, found a couple examples, saw some other videos that people did, and I thought, yeah, that would have been a good one. I'm glad I didn't go that route because they already did that. So found a couple that I think, I hope nobody else has done yet, but whatever, we'll see. So let's just jump into this. I will have a link below for the contest entry video. You can check it out and jump on board and get this going. Up first, from 1972, we got the first two albums by David Cassidy, both recorded or both released in 1972. Now, this was right around the time when most all of the Partridge Family stuff, started coming out in the 70, 71, 72 era is when they released pretty much all their albums. So he's breaking out on his own, trying to be a solo artist. And he releases Cherish, and then he releases Rock Me Baby. So these really good albums. He started, his style after these albums started kind of changing a little at times as they went out. But these two albums I think would go really well together. Now he wants us to show or tell. I have no way. I'm not going to do the whole possible album cover alterations, but to put these sides in the order that we think they would be good. And so what I've done is I think we can start off with side A of Rock Me Baby, jump into side A of Cherish, side B of Cherish, and then end it with side B of Rock Me Baby. And I would call this set Cherish Me Baby. These two albums have some really great moments, and I think they'd be great together as one single album. Up next, two from Barnabas. What is this? 80, I didn't mark them down, 83, 84, I believe. But Approaching Light Speed was first. Feel the Fire was second. Barnabas had two albums out before this. And in my opinion, those two albums kind of feel like they go better together, though they are a little different from each other. By the time they got to Approaching Light Speed, I think they really had found their groove. They had really found their sound. And these two albums, to me, go together different. They sign up to a new label. And so both of these albums sound very compatible style-wise. And, I just think that they'd be great together. Now, what I would do, even though this album came first, I would start with side A of this. I think that the song Freedom, No Freedom, is just a killer opening track. So I would say start with side A, go with side B of this album, then side A of this album, and then jump back and close the album off with side B of this album. Ends with the killer song Crucifixion, starts with the killer song Warrior. So I think that'd be a great combo. I would call these Approaching the Fire by Barnabas. Now, up next, this may be kind of cheating only because technically these two albums were supposed to be one album. We've got the first release by Sabotage, Sirens. We've got the second release, The Dungeons Are Calling. And when you read back on the history of these, basically the band recorded all of these songs in one session. But back in the days of vinyl and cassettes, before the CD era, they just were too much for the vinyl release for the band originally and then a label later. So they broke them up into this. This is more of an extended EP. But the songs go together. They would make a good set together. What is this? This is 83 and this one they came out in 84. But they were both recorded at the same time. They should go to, the band actually did release a CD version called The Complete Sessions where they actually put them both on one CD as was originally intended. And the track listing was this album right into this album. Now, there have been bonus tracks to these CDs released over the years. I think I've seen at least 5 tracks, whether they were all recorded at this time frame or around this time frame. They have been released as bonus tracks on these two CD reissues over the years. So I think if you grab those bonus tracks, that would make up for this being a 6-song EP, 6 or 7. There was different versions. And you could make these 2 full albums. But even if you just put them together as a double album, I think they go well together. So there you go. This one, I would stick with the name Sirens just because it's a killer name, it's a killer song, and I think it represents a good idea for the whole album. Sirens, the double record set. This one also might kind of be stretching it only because really well, at least in my mind, maybe it's just my mind, these two albums, they go hand in hand together, sound-wise and everything. And that's the 96 and 97 release from Metallica, Load and Reload. I mean, they've even named them to where they feel like they go together. But I think at this time frame in Metallica's career, these two albums, they feel like brothers. They just go right together, like they could have been recorded around the same time, at least in my mind. And so I think it'd be great. Now, I've got these organized to where I think you start with side A of Reload, jump to side A of Load, then jump to side B of Reload, and jump. So basically, you're just intertwining A, B, B. And I think that they would go together really well. I think that Fuel is a really great opening track, and it would just go well from there. And then I would merge these two together, and I would call this Unloaded. Kind of a play on words, because Load, if you know what that is, then I think that you could also call this Unloaded. Anyway, so, but you put them together, and you've got them unloaded, and I think they'd be great together. And then the last one is we're jumping into the jazz mode, and this has got Billy Cobham's 85 and 86 release Power Play and Warning 85, 86. This is really where I discovered him. Now, a lot of the early stuff from Billy Cobham was more fusion, jazz fusion, a little more, oddities in there. But for me, when he made it to these two albums, and maybe it started before this, but these two albums to me really just merged together because this is where I listened to these two together a lot. And so this is where he kind of went a little more into less fusion and more a little pop jazz, a little more the traditional jazz, modern jazz, whatever you want to call it. It was a little less fusiony and just a little more straightforward. And these two albums, to me, just still two of my favorite. And for me, I would merge them together, and I would start with side A of Power Play. Then I'd go with side B of Warning, side A of Warning, and then end it with side B of Power Play. I think these song structures go together as well as in that mode a little better. And then I would call the album Times of My Life, which is the opening track from this. It's just a killer opening track, and I think that that would be a good representation of both of these albums together. There you go. 5 double albums made up of single albums. Hopefully that qualifies. Check out Larry's channel, link below. Join the video. You got to like December 1st before the contest. Join the contest before December 1st, and you have a chance to win. And we'll see you later. Rock on and rock hard.